Hello, namaskar, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all the participants, all the distinguished guests for today's second day of the webinar on digital library technology. This webinar is intended for library and information professionals, knowledge manager, information entrepreneurs, and e-content developers who have the interest, initiatives, and need to set up libraries and information center based on the concept of Library 2.0. So this webinar is intended for this targeted group. Hope it will meet its aim. Now, without losing the time, I would like to proceed for today's schedule. According to the schedule, today there is three presentations by Professor Bharat Chaudhary, by Parvati Pandey, and by myself. We have included three different topics for today. The first topic is on installation and workflow of Subject Plus and integration Subject Plus API with WordPress. And the second topic is on Koha as Jet3950 server. And the third topic is on DSpace, multi-instance ePeople groups, authorization harvesting with OAI PMH, and indexing DSpace in Bluefine. So these three topics will be included in today's webinar. Without delaying, I would like to welcome today's chairperson, Professor A.R.D. Prasad, ex-director of the RTC India. Please welcome, sir. And I'd like to request to have the responsibility of the chairperson of today's session. The Zoom is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you. I've forgotten the name. I am too old. Okay. Thank you very much for a generous introduction. Then I would also begin my session with thanking the Velinova University, our Viewfind Foundation, Damien, and HealthNet of Nepal, and Professor Pradhan for giving me the opportunity to chair this session. Okay, definitely, of course, the first round of the workshop, I guess at least it was beneficial to all of you. Okay, and though in spite of the constraints we had because of online, this one, which I could see in the presentation of Professor Pradhan's yesterday, the feedback and all that, but still I think the participants also did a wonderful job. I think the success of any such workshop depends on how well the participants received it. Okay, and definitely many of them are attending. I think in addition, a few of more people, because right now it shows about the count of 69. So the response is fairly good by any means. Okay, so any standards. So with that, I think DSpace. I think today's talk, two of the talks are about DSpace. DSpace, arguably, I think the most popular software, I think digital library software. I feel architecturally, I think the Fedora Commons is a better backend technology architecture and all that. But again, the problem which is it doesn't have user interface. So jokingly, I say that Fedora Commons is like a military truck. Okay, functionality wise, very good, but it looks very ugly. Okay, because it doesn't have an interface. Whereas DSpace, the ease of use is pretty much attractive. Okay, for example, you know, in India, in the beginning, Greenstone Digital Libraries was very popular because for Windows users, just a click. The setup means it sets up. But at that time, of course, DSpace was not around. But I was somehow not very happy with that. The reason being, firstly, it did not follow many standards like Mark 21 or even Dublin Core was not there. Their search engine, they have their homegrown search engine called MG2, which doesn't have incremental indexing. There were so many disadvantages, so I never liked it. But everybody was talking about the Greenstone. So finally, normally I crack a lot of jokes and everything. So I used to say that it is painful to install these space, real pain, okay, but easy to use. Whereas with Greenstone, it is very easy to install. After that, the pain starts. Okay, so I think normally installation is done by a techie guy. Okay, not every librarian is expected to install. So that way also, I think this scores better. But now you see that there is a lot of migrations from e-prints. Of course, DSpace was never figured out in the world statistics. But I can see some of the repositories are migrating towards the DSpace even from ePrints. Islander is another one which is attractive, as some components related to semantic web technology. But as such, now DSpace is simple. And only thing I think they wanted to introduce a user interface based on Angular, okay, which required a lot of revamping. Then they wanted to change the REST API part also. I think the last 1.5 years, they were telling the next release 7 is coming. We do not know in which version it got stuck. Okay, because whenever somebody was asking me something, okay, you say, hey, wait, 7 is coming. Okay, I was repeating, and I think I lost a little hope that whether it, okay, whether we can see it in 2021. Okay, that is, I think they have taken too much of a task. They say no in English saying, trying to bite more than one can chew. Okay, probably instead of chewing little by little, they try to have a big bite in McDonald's. Okay, probably that is, I mean, that is my reasoning, not that I am right. Okay, I could be wrong. So these are my personal opinion. But in any case, DSpace is a wonderful repository software. And I am sure that many of you see installation part we left because installation, see, we were running on a, I think, HealthNet servers. Thanks to Professor Pradhan for arranging that. So there you cannot install because the existing system is there. So on your own systems only one has to. But again, one should have robust internet connectivity because it downloads, I think, Java libraries more than 600 MB or something. And anytime it may conk off, especially when you are trying to do Mirage 2, which is mobile compatible. Many people gave up. Okay, what I did is, once I succeeded, I kept the binaries, the entire directory. So instead of recompiling, I distribute that to everybody. Okay, this is the DSpace directory, use it straight. Okay, you don't have to compile. Ideally, I think like viewfind, if it is a Debian package for DSpace, it would have been wonderful. But we don't have Debian in DSpace, no, the developers list. Okay, that way I found viewfind earlier. Somebody was saying, no, that's the patar.gz and all that. And when I tried the Debian package, it is straightforward. Okay, there isn't hardly anything left for me to goof up. Okay, so anyhow, thanks. I think it is very thoughtful that this particular webinar combined viewfind and DSpace and Koha, which are the most three most popular ones. Of course, WordPress. WordPress for content management systems. It's also a wonderful software. Okay. So with that, I think basic introduction. Now I request the next speaker. Is it Bharat Chaudhary or Parbati Pandey or Leela? Okay, I don't know who is going to present. Anyhow, I leave the floor to Leela to invite the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your introductory remark. The first presentation is by Professor Bharat Chaudhary. His topic is on installation and workflow of Subjects Plus and integration Subjects Plus API with WordPress. All the participants are requested to ask questions in the question answer sessions. You can write the questions in QA box as well. Bharat sir, please, the floor is yours.
Thanks for joining this webinar, which is on digital library software during 26 and 28 May 2021. Thanks to WhoFind Software for organizing this wonderful webinar. I'm walk through the three aspects for my session. The first is the installation of a Subject Plus, workflow of a content of a Subject Plus, and API integration of a Subject Plus to WordPress, because we know that WordPress is also becoming a very popular, famous content management system in the world. So it is necessary for any applications to be plug in with the WordPress. So Subject Plus is also the tool which is integrated with the WordPress also. So let us start my presentations with the introduction. What is a Subject Plus? Actually, Subject Plus is a totally free of cost and open source content management system like WordPress or Joomla. And it is especially designed and developed for a library purpose, because of it can control the library content, and this software is developed looking after the expectation of the library professionals. So this is the fantastic the option for a librarian to create a library website. And I think there is no other software which is similar to this application, which is developed in the globe. So this is a good option for us. If I would like to draw some other features, the many libraries are giving a different names. Like some libraries called it a subject guide, some calls research guides, and many also, in most probably, they called it the subject guides or guide. The features, the most important feature of this the Subject Plus is the creation of a database into A to Z list, A to Z format, and management of the subject according to the category and classifications.
Oh, I am sorry to
You can
interrupt.
create
Can
the
you adjust
department.
the camera a
You
little?
can create a staff librarian and experts. You can create a research guide. You can create the topic. The video management is also a new features. Then you can upload a video from Vimeo or YouTube. Even you can create or upload your manual video. There are a lot of features like a frequently asked question FAQ. Then you can integrate. You can make a suggestion box and responsive design according to actually with a new Subject Plus release. Each and every release it has a new responsive design and plugin and themes. So it is a better as a good development with the community. And as an open source, you can customize it and you can completely customize as per your need. What is the benefit actually for a librarian? Because of looking the whole development of the Subject Plus based on the library requirement. So it serve a platform access both the commercial and open source e-resources. For example, if you have commercial resources, then you can integrate. If you have on content, then you can make it out. You can create your frequently asked questions. Whatever you wish, you can design and develop through the Subject Plus. And so Subject Plus is a mirror of your library resources, library content. If you look while installing the Subject Plus, you have the first screen of the first interface. that anybody would like to search anything, then this is find the resource guide first, and then list of the A to Z research guide, like according to the subject. You can make it out according to the topic or according to the different guide. So you can manage a different slot, like in a right side you can make a newest guide, you can make it a newest database or your trial database. So this is a very nice look and feel for any library professionals, those who can attract to user. This is the list of the database which is created by the librarian and tagged with the different subject and a different access point. This is the first admin login. Once you install this the subject plus, you can first enter your credential and you can change your password. This is the first initial page of the login. You can create the different department as I mentioned, and we will practically do this. This is the admin page, and top level menu. You first have a top level menu. You can choose menu according to your need. You can create a new guides. First of all, I would like to show you some of the library. For example, this library actually right now is controlling or administrating the development of the subject plus the University of Miami libraries. So I just show you this library. This library, the full web is a design according to the based on the subject plus and integration with the WordPress they have created. This library is a very wonderful example of the subject plus. In India, Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, they have created a huge amount of content using subject plus. Then you can see the plethora of content into this site. So this is the wonderful example in India, IIT Gandhinagar. If you see in the New Zealand, the Auckland University and its university library, they have created the research guide, and they have also customized a subject was wonderfully, that you can see a different subject in a different slot according to the categorizations and the classifications and everything. Hong Kong University, the Hong Kong Shoyan University in Hong Kong, they have customized according to their needs, but very wonderfully designed this subject plus. The another one is the Eastern Illinois University. This one is very famous university even in the academic domain. So they have created a wonderful customized subject plus for their users, and they call it as a libguide. So many people call it a libguide also. So this is whole about the subject plus introductions, what its features and benefit is. Just before I go for my presentation of installation, I would like to say you the first we will have to have a window server or a Ubuntu, both. This is the subject plus is a platform independent system. You can install the installations of a subject plus is possible through possible on window, even in on Ubuntu, on any flavor you can install. So just I gonna install the subject plus 4.5.1 on my Ubuntu systems, and I have my VPS server. So I will show you how to install Subject Plus step by step, so you can understand easily. And this is the very easy mechanism to install the Subject Plus on Ubuntu. But if you have Ubuntu server, then you can easily install. First, I would like to say that before going for installation of the Subject Plus, you must have a Ubuntu server or a Debian or a CentOS, whatever. You must have a server in good configurations. Right now, I have taken a latest version of Ubuntu. Or right now, I'm also showing you, but in this presentation, in this session, I will show you the Subject Plus installations on a Debian. So I will show you this on a Debian. The another things you required for a database, which is called DBMS, and I have chosen MariaDB is a MySQL flavor of the MariaDB is a MySQL flavor, and this is a very handy software to manage database. In a Debian or in a Ubuntu, you can install PHP 7.3 or a 7.4, whatever you need. But 7.4, I think, support to 2010 or a 2004 LTS system, so you can install it. First, once we finish this requirement, we can create a database. So, for example, if I would like to create a Subject Plus instance, before installing this Subject Plus, I need to create a database and its user. So I will show you how to create a database into the server. Just I create use Subject Plus database. So I go to my server. This is the login. I will log in it. I will show you how we can work on Ubuntu server or a Debian server. Let's see why this is. Must work on. Okay, so I put the credential. As a super user, I will work on that. So I should not give again and again a password. So I just go to my installing document and copy this file and put into the task password. So I'm in MariaDB server. Just I create a database which is called a Subject Plus. Database is created. Now I create a user, SP user. SP user is created. Now I give the grant to base, giving the all privilege to particular user which is created for Subject Plus. and I finally change this one and exit. So I created the database and user for subject plus. Now I go to the I go to the directory called temp. In a temp directory, I will install mine. I will first download the source of the subject plus. Subject plus source is installed. Now I go for the, now I untar source, so the directory will be created. If I want to see the directory, I just put the ls and I see there is a directory called v5.1.tar.z file. So I will have to move this first. If I have, I just will have to check this is the directory. So I use issuing the command mv, you can move with the rename to the destination directory. So I will create my destination directory in var www.html.sp, where the Apache application, Apache container, web container is located. So I will create this one. So the sp directory is already created. If I want to check it, I can check using this command cd var www html and html and enter. If I want to see this directory, then I can see name as sp. I have another called a guide, but I no need to go for this. So I will have to remove this called a guide. If the directory has some file, if the directory has some file, so it will remove automatically. I can see the sp. If I want to remove another one, which so I can use rm command. So I will give the permission to WordPress. So permission is given. Both permission is required for the directory. So permission is given. So if I want now the source is installed, just it is very simple. If I want to access, then I will have to give the IP, my IP, and sp/control enter, control/ yes, this is okay. Okay, why this happens, I will have to check. Once you installed it, you will have to just I give you 5.1 and then sp. Okay, this is installed, and I will show you this is the control. So when it asks, you will have to yes, this is the the first phase of the WordPress after the installation. So I give you the password called the password which I given. So this is the first part of the installations which I finished. Now to the email setting. So now the another important things which I would like to incorporate it in this section, which is called API setting. So in API setting, it is understood that we are giving our content to the different platform. Like if you are integrating your platform to WordPress or a Joomla or your own content, if you have created your own content, you can also integrate it. You can also integrate with a different software which you are using in ERP or any like, which everything is possible through API setting. So I just gonna inform you that how we can enable the API service in Subject Plus and with integration with the WordPress. So this feature, I think in setting there is enable the API service here, and you will have to what you would like to do. First I'm showing you enabling API setting of WordPress. First of all, you will have to go to the API change, which I show you, just this change. And first of all, earlier you can see this a fall. So we'll have to change from false to true. Once you select the true, you will have this API key here. And you will have to copy this API key and paste into the different directory which we will have to which we going to create. So which files are required for a plugin with the WordPress? We need to have a two zip file which have a different PHP plugin setting. The first is the database .tar, this file, and another one is the snapshot code .tar.zip. These two files which have a directory which is required into the WordPress setting. So in a WordPress there is a plugin directory. In a plugin directory we will have to extract these two directory and we will have to make some setting. So first I show you where my these two settings are available in the server. In my server, you can see the plugin. Just I go for a plugin. You will have to copy. For example, I have this in my temp directory. For example, in my temp directory there is a database, and there is these two directories are available which I have copied from the sources from the website. So I copy it, this database, to the destination directory, right, where I will have to copy this into WordPress plugin in this directory. After copying, you will have to copy sp short this directory into, I just copy it into this plugin. So once you copy this, you will find directory into in plugin. Okay, so we have a two directory which is called a database and SP shortcode. Okay, so in this, particularly in this directory, we will have to paste this API key. So I copy this API key and correct it into the and paste into the SP ls, and there is a file. This file I will have to edit. So I edit this file and I will paste my API here. So here there is my API which I will have to paste. For example, I copy and I paste it out. Sorry. Copy and paste. Once I paste it, if the server is the same, the setting of the IP would be localhost, no problem. But if you have a different server and a different the WordPress or a Joomla or any system which is in a different server, so we will have to assign a new IP here. Yeah, but in my case, localhost, no problem at all. And I save it. After saving, I will have to give some setting in Apache 2.config directory, Apache 2.config file. So I open this file, which are in the Apache server, which is available in Apache server. So in this setting, I will have to change this. Earlier it was here, yes, in a user share, by default it is none. So we will have to, what we will have to do, we will have to, if by default it is a none, I will have to do as a all. And in the same case, here there is a none, but we will have to change this from null to all. And in the last in this last section, we will have to give the path. Here my path is var www html sp. For example, if you have a path like html, sorry, you do not have html directory in between, and if you have only a var www sp, then you can make it out. Otherwise, you can write here html. In my case, I have a html. So I write it down, and then I will have to save this. After saving, I will have to create the new file which is called a config, which is very necessary. And once I copy it and paste, my config directory would be created. Once I create it, I will have to copy this and paste into this directory and then save. After saving, I will have to give the system link. So giving this command, I can give the system link here. So I enter it, and I have given the system link that will work for my as a config file of in my web server. After doing this, I will have to restart my Apache. Apache is already restarted. So after restarting, I will have to add a tree setting into the WordPress. So I have my own WordPress here. This is my WordPress page, and VP admin. I log into my WordPress, and what I will have to do, I will have to create. Before creating this, which is very important things we will have to do is in a plugin section, we will have to, because of putting this two file, shortcode and a data table, the plugin section will automatically activate it and deactivate it of this plugin here. So using API setting, I will have to activate this. In my case, in my WordPress, I have activated. For example, I am deactivated, and this one is deactivate. And now I select for the activate. This is the default setting. I go for activate, and data table is activated. So two tables are being activated. So what I will have to do, I will have to create a new page which is called a database. So here I have created my own page here. So you can see here the database, and in a block you will have to copy. For example, this is the database. So copy this text, copy this syntax. This is the code syntax into code syntax into HTML block. So once you in HTML paragraph, even you can paste in an HTML paragraph and then update. So if you have this message, so don't worry about it. Go back. Similar thing with the guide. You will have to create a new page like a guide, and in this section you will have to paste this line into guide. Once you paste, you update it, and then go back. Similar with the staff, you can copy from this file. I copy this file and paste into this section, this block, and then update. So once you create staff guide and database, it will the content will be coming from subject plus. Just we can see it. So this is my WordPress. So in a WordPress, I have created database, staff, and guide.
What happened?
I believe we reached the end of the video.
Ah,
Okay, sir. I continue it for 1 minute. Can you see it? And can I share my screen?
yes. I mean, well, no, not yet. We see only your name on the
Yeah.
screen.
Can you see the screen? The same screen which
Yes,
was
got it.
mixed in video. Okay.
Got
So
it.
I
Got
continue.
it.
Yeah, I continue this. Actually, what we have created from the admin panel, which is the database, staff, and guide. So
Okay.
we can see when we click on this WordPress page, then we can see the list of the database, which are coming from the subject plus, and the same thing like a guide. For example, I click on this guide like a civil engineering, it will redirect in my subject plus. So the content is harvested from the subject plus, and which is available in showcase in this WordPress. Similarly, like staff, so we can see here the list of the staff which I have created in my subject plus. So this is all about the integration of subject plus to WordPress and the installation of subject plus into Debian or Ubuntu. So in the end, I would like to commit one of the errata which I made during the installation. There are two directory, which was not a database, but it is a data table, and another one is a SP hcode. These are the file which is available with us. If anybody would like to have, then we will share it. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for chairing this, my session from Dr. Rayardi, sir. I am tremendously happy to have you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much all.
Thank you, Dr. Bharat Chaudhary. First thing is, I think anybody, a novice, can follow your instructions and I think set up. And more importantly, integrating, I think, with WordPress, because WordPress could well be used as as the face of the library, okay, because it's a powerful content management system. But to get the best of the both worlds, like you find in the subject plus and WordPress. I think Dr. Bharat Chaudhary's integration of both the software would greatly go, I think, well in what I say, that is the best combination one can think of. In fact, it gives an idea for others also how to use the APIs whenever you wish to try to integrate the two software. It doesn't have to be these two, but one can explore the possibility of integrating two software and get the best out of both. Thank you. And now I invite the next speaker.
Sir, sorry, is there any questions?
Yes, sir.
Damien?
There is one question from Jaz Varanis. Do you know if Subject Plus can integrate it with non-library system through API?
What is the non-library system means?
He has not written the name. It is in the chat box.
Non-library system, I cannot understand what is the system.
Even Drupal is not
Perhaps
a
like
library system.
Koha or this kind.
Even WordPress is a non-library system,
Yeah.
but even if you have a good knowledge of API integrations, subject openly given you, this is the API key, then you can also paste in the Google code or Amazon code or whatever the system you have, then you can paste it out. You can create your own PHP or on your own code, and then you integrate. So the standard is open.
Okay, good.
Can't it
Good.
be
I think
integrated in Koha OPAC? The another question is.
I think there is no development as of now. So it can be the way of investigation. So if the subject plus coder can develop anything to integrate with the the Koha.
Okay, sir.
But
Okay,
but it's possible with WooFind.
yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I think there is no more question now. With the permission of the chairperson, I would like to request another presenter, Ms. Parvati Pandey, to present her present topic on Koha as Z3950 server. Ms. Parvati Pandey, please, Zoom is yours.
Yeah, please keep in mind to stick to the time. Okay. I think already we are a little overshot.
Thank you, Leela ma'am. Respected chairperson, distinguished speakers, master of the ceremony, and all the participants, B. Parvati Pandey, assistant professor, Central Department of Library and Information Science, Tribhuvan University, Nepal. My presentation is on the topic about Koha as Z39.50 servers. So I would like to request for the permission to share my screen with you all.
You should be able to.
Thank you, Devin sir. My topic is Koha as Z39.50 server. Introduction. A library catalog is a listing of all the collection within a library where the bibliographic.
Excuse me, Parvati ma'am, please share your screen.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Is it visible, ma'am?
Oh, yes, it is visible.
Thank you, sir. In introduction part, a library catalog is a listing of all the collection or items within the library where the bibliographic data are recorded in prescribed order and form. All the collection of bibliographic data are managed in two ways. One is original catalog and another one is copy catalog. In original catalog, cataloger manages bibliographic data of an item originally. It is used when copy catalog information is not available for an item. Copy catalog movable. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Just click at the left hand side. There is a small arrow you will see.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Copy catalog is the act of importing needed bibliographic data from other library servers into your on server or on database. Z39.50 is a protocol for searching and retrieving bibliographic information from our database over a TCP/IP computer network only. Search retrieved by a URL is roughly the XML version of a Z39.50 search. It will allow any Z39.50 SRU compliant client software to search and record from your catalog. The procedure for configuring local computer to act as Z39.50 SRU server herewith. This is the instance DIPA library, which is configured myself. All of the procedure are given below as in DIPA library, which is installed in Debian Ubuntu package. for configuring instance or act as Z39.50 SRU, the following steps should be followed. Step first. First of all, we should have to enable instance with this command koha Z3950 responder and enable the library instance. Here is DIPA library, and this screen will appear in computer or server. In step second, we should have start the instance with this command, and screen like this appear. In third step, we should have to edit koha can file under this root, etc koha sites and instance name. That is, I am using DIPA library. And we can edit koha can file with any editor like Beam, Nano. Here I used Beam editor. There are two places in this file. One place is this one. I pointed by this symbol, and another place is here. Now, in this place, we should have to replace IP address and port number also, and a public server before the this line. Here is IP address used 182.93.84.137 and port number used 999. We can use also domain name here and remove this comment. And another place is public servers bibliographic records. Below the line of public servers bibliographic records, and this one and this one comments should be removed. Here pointed by arrow line, where it removed, and another line is here. In step 4, which I did config file also under this path. To edit config file, same as we can edit any editor like Vim or Nano. In this file, we have to replace @ symbol by the IP address or domain name and replace 2100 port by 999. After complete this configure, save and exit from config file. After complete above process and restart service Apache 2 by this command line. And in step 5, we should have to restart Zebra server. First of all, we should stop the Zebra server by these two command line and restart again. The screen look like this when we start the Zebra server. After restarting Zebra, we should have to telnet the IP using the command telnet. Here is IP address and port number without any comment before and after. If success, the screen will appear like this. After that, we should have YZ client has also to be tested. If successful, it shows the following information. The YZ command line is here, this one. And after successful, the message will appear like this one. In step 8, we should put the command find keyword, word, return, and display. We can also check by the show command. After complete over all configuration procedure in terminal side, and then we should have to move in browser by typing IP address or domain name. Now for setup Z39.50 SRU servers, we should follow the following steps. First of all, we should have to go Koha sites and Koha home page, and this screenshot is Koha home page, and all of these are Koha modules, and we should have to click Koha administration. There is, after clicking Koha administration, the screen appear like this. In this screen, select and click Z39.50 SRU servers under additional parameters. Like in this place, we should have to click Z39.50 SRU servers. And after clicking Z39.50 SRU servers, the screen will be appear, and then select Z39.50 server button. Here is, and in this screen, all of the servers are appeared here, which are already configured and displayed in this page. For a new server, we should have to click new Z39.50 server. After clicking this button, this page will appear. Here, all of this red box written by red letter, these fields are mandatory or compulsion or correctness. Here is server name, host name, port, database name. After fill up this field, like server name, I put here Deepa library, which already configured. And host name, that IP address, we can put here domain name also, and port number is 999, and the database name is biblio. And other field are not mandatory or optional field, and we should have select mark format which we want to import the data, or we implement it in our database. I select mark 21 or US mark format. After complete this information, click save button. After complete above process, newly configured Z39.50 server is displayed as follows. Here is Deepa library. It is arranged by alphabetically, so Deepa library is placed in first line. And all of the details appear in here: the IP address, port number, database name biblio, pre-selected name, syntax US mark, and encoding, timeout, record type. All of these information appeared in here. For importing, ultimate our goal is to import or copy the bibliographic data from other servers. So for importing bibliographic data from Z39.50 servers, go to Koha homepage and click cataloging module and select new from Z39.50 SRU search tab. There I pointed by arrow key. This one new record for original catalog, and another button is for copy catalog. Now, after clicking this button, this page will appear. Select the Z39.50 server from where data is going to be imported. Here I select Deepa library. In this example, Deepa library is being used, and here we can search the information by ISBN, ISSN, title, author, publication, etc. And after fill up the any information like ISBN, ISN title, where I put the title name just a split and click search button. After then, next page will appear if the information is available in there. We can select select the information form by this page. Here, if we not needed that information, we can go through try another search. I have also search another title from Deepa Library, designing and writing online documentation. For importing this document, we have to go to action button. In the action button, there is three options: mark preview, card preview, and import. We can observe mark preview, mark format, how they organize the information, and card preview. We also observe which cataloging code they used. We can observe from here. And after reviewing this option, if the information is required to us, we can click the import button. And when we click import button, all the information are imported in our mark format, like is mark 21, US mark, or Unimark, any format which we selected in our database. Another step to set up how to set up Z39.50 SRU. To set up SRU server, same steps are here. For this purpose, we should have to go to Koha homepage and then click Koha administration, select Z39.50 SRU servers under additional parameters like this one. Same steps, Koha administration, and then click additional, select additional parameters and click the 39.50 SRU servers. After then, this screen will appear in there. We have to select new SRU server. I pointed by arrow key here. After then, same page will appear. We already filled up. Here is server name, host name, port, database name, and etc. And here we put server name Deepa Library SRU, searchable via URL, and host name, IP address, and port number, and database name is biblios. And we have to select mark format, which I selected mark 21 US mark here. After complete this, we have to save this page. Sorry, it's one page is inserted in there. After clicking save button, after clicking save button, the Deepa Library SRU will appear in this, like this page, Deepa Library SRU. To import bibliographic data from SRU server, same step here. We have to go Koha homepage, select cataloging module, and we have to select new from Z39.50 SRU, and then this page will appear. Here I select Deepa Library and Deepa Library SRU Z39.50 servers. I put split title, select server name and then click search button. The screen will appear this one, split vision, DIPA library SRU and DIPA library split. Two servers are here. To import the data from SRU server, we can click action button and we can review by this mark preview and card preview, and then we can import from here. If we not needed this information, we can try another search. After import the data imported in Mark 21 format, and here is the vision and vendor title and statement of responsibility. All of the data are imported in here, and save. Click the save button. After clicking a save button, the page will appear like this, and all of the required information we can fill from here. Now I put here only barcode number 006, and then add item. Click add item here. After clicking that option, the screen look like in normal view, split vision and other bibliographical details appeared in here. In this conclusion, the trend of using this Koha software is increasing day by day. But most of the libraries do not provide the facility of bibliographic data import to others' library database in local level. For manage local document librarian librarian catalog bibliographic data of an item originally. It increased the time, cost, and intellectual efforts too. So copy catalog saves the cost and time. Z39.50 protocol is a protocol for searching information from a database over a TCP/IP computer network. After configure above all activities, we can make a local computer act as Z39.50 SRU server. The Z39.50 protocol helps the librarian to improve resource sharing among libraries by creating virtual union catalog. It is very beneficial to all local level libraries. Thank you. Any question? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Parvati Pandey. And anybody else would like to ask questions? I think she finished well within the time. Right on that.
Yes. There is one question in the chat box, sir.
Yeah.
And I think it has been answered by Mohan, sir. What is the minimum ideal system configuration to offer Z39 server service for optimal performance? And yes, it was already answered by Mohan, sir, that the server computer have Xeon processor is the best. Otherwise, any other running Koha ILS is okay. I think there is no other questions. Thank you very much, Parvati madam.
Thank you, Ms. Parvati Pandey. It's a very good presentation because many people use Koha for Z3950 client, but you have shown how to set up and share with others. Okay, the data that is on your Koha directory. I think you went step by step and easy to follow, and it's an excellent presentation. Thank you very much. So now I invite the next speaker who is coordinating, okay, until now. Now the onus of presenting the her presentation rather on Leela.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
It is Nyang Cheng.
Fine. Okay, fine. Okay.
It's okay, sir. No problem.
Like this recent cyclone, I think that's a Burmese word. Spelling is terrible in this case, but finally I found the pronunciation is Taute. Okay, fine. Yeah, please go.
Okay. Hello. Good evening once again. I'm Leela from Nepal, Tribhuvan University, Central Department of Library and Information Science. Respected chairperson, respected teachers, Demian Kaz, Mohansa, and all of those teachers, and all participants, greetings to you all once again. Before starting my presentation, I would like to first acknowledge all the teachers in the training program who have tirelessly taught us. Dr. Demian Kaz, A.R.D. Prasad, Bharat Sir, Goma Madam, and obviously I must thank Mohan Sir for his continuous and tireless effort. Without him, I think this training and this webinar is almost impossible for me, at least. And secondly, thank you very much for Demian Kaz, because he was our ultimate resource person. If any problem occurs, we just know that Demian sir will solve it, and it will happen. And thank you very much for Jaya sir, because his help makes me able to understand well. Before I'd like to confess that the presentation what I'm going to do may be a bit boring for those who are experienced in this space and all of those things, but for the basic learner as me, it may be useful for them. I must confess that I learned this space and those Linux command lines by copy and pasting. I first did just copy and paste. Gradually, I began to understand. Even I didn't know what is sudo mean. I even asked to my teachers, what does it mean? But now I get into my mind, and it's working well. This is very good experience for myself. Now I will talk about some functionalities here in this space. This particular lecture was given by A.R.D. Prasad. So in his chairperson, being he as a chairperson, I'm presenting it. I'm a bit nervous, though I try not to be. I will include in this session, I have divided this session into two parts. First, I will talk multi-administrators creation in DSpace. Second, creating the e-people and authorizing them. Third, OAI PMS harvesting of DSpace, as Pandey ma'am recently did in Z39, using the Z39 from Kuha. This is also another kind of protocol that is used to harvest the DSpace data. And the last one, DSpace harvesting and indexing with Woofine. This last part I have taken will present as a second part of my presentation. So I first introduce two interfaces. This is the XML UI interface of DSpace, and another is the JSP UI interface of the DSpace. As recently A.R.D. sir mentioned that the seventh version of DSpace will integrate both of them in one, which is still yet to come. Multi-instance means making the multiple administrators. As we install one DSpace in a server computer or in our computer, and we have branches of the libraries, then we can give the administration role to each branch of library. So this facility is given by the DSpace, which we are going to see how we can get that facility. These are the commands lines stepwise I'm going to present here. At first, we need to go to Postgres DSpace, where we will create the new user. So these steps means that we are entering the new user in Postgres and giving the database for the new user. So these first we should give these steps These are the manual steps I am describing above. And this is the screenshot how in the command line that we gave. Here I'm using three names as my user. For example, this TUCD-LIS is the Tribhuvan University Central Department of Library and Information Science. And another interface I am using here in my presentation is Leela Library. And another one is also named TUCD-LIS, but in different server. So this is the first steps where we do. And secondly, now we will work on P-SQL database, giving different, alter the roles for the new user. Here, in my case, TUCD-LIS is the new users. We have to follow all these steps one by one. First, alter the role, then alter the database, then grant all privileges and create extension. These are the must. And thirdly, this is the same screenshots of the given where we need to be at the root. So to go to the root, we need to give sudo su and starting the Postgres. Before going to root, we have restarted our Postgres SQL. Otherwise, it will create problem. If we do not restart this Postgres SQL, it will create problem while compiling. Then all other steps. Here in my case, TUCD-LIS is the user. Then I have given those names. If you want to give another name, then you can change only this particular thing. All others commands are same for you too. Then after we will make the directory for our user, give the directory, a new directory where in the root, in which place we will put that folder for that new user. And after that, in the source file, we have to configure something. During the training, I have talked with my friends that how they feel about the installation of DSpace. And all of them said that rather than installation, configuration is more challenging. Yes, of course, I also feel so. Configuration is the thing where a very minute detail is important. So here also we need to do configurations for all the permissions, giving all the permission to the new administrator. So for doing the configurations, we will go to dspace.cfg. This file is under this build, and this dspace 6.3 is the version. SRC release is the software, and in that software, the dspace file is there. Again, in dspace file, there is config, and in config file, dspace.cfg is there. And after configuring in this file, I will tell you in another slide what are the changes we made in dspace CFG for the new user. And after that, we have to do mbn u package. This must be successfully built. If it is not built successfully, then it will not work out. And this is the same file, dspace.cfg and local.cfg is the same file. In my case, when I did only doing this config CFG file, config dspace CFG did not work. So I also changed the same thing as whatever changes I made here. This is the same file, so the same changes I did because it did not work automatically in my case. If it works automatically, then we don't need to do these steps. And after that, we will do the ant fresh underscore install. Now we will see how I did in the screenshot. Okay, so the file will appear there. The longer file will appear there. Among them, we have to change into dspace.directory dir, where my path name, the user's path name has to give. And this dspace.name, it is optional. If you want to give, then okay. If you don't want to give and just use the default one is also okay. Here I have changed into my own name or own institution's name. And here the URL name Postgres. Here it's a big blur for you. Is a localhost :5432 TUCD-LIS. This part I have changed. And for this local host, you can change with your URL and the IP address. Later on, I have changed with my server's IP address here. And there was another thing, the database username TUCDLIS and password also given TUCDLIS. These password and username we have in the first step, we have already given that password and username. The same thing we have to write down here. Okay. Now let's, another file that we need to change is server.xml. We need to add actually. This server.xml is located at etc Tomcat 8. Here, Tomcat version 8 is used for Debian 9 platform because these changes were made in Debian 9 in my server. If it is in your computer Ubuntu 20.04, you have to have this Tomcat 9. So the version may different according to the platform in which we are working. After the changing, we have given, see these 5 lines were added where the TUCDLIS, we have changed. If you need to add another administrator, then you need to add another 5 lines in the server XML and just change the user's name, that you have given at first. Sorry for the disturbance. Here, as you see, the folders path and the names of the users I have given. You can just copy it and do changes according to your need. And after changing in server XML, we must give this chown Tomcat 8. And at first, when I only ran this first command, home dspace user. This is the file path name where my user is there. And when I need to do for the OAI request, this command was also necessary. So I had added later on. So running both command is more useful. The screenshot is also given in below. You are seeing over here. Then this is the last step of creating the new administrator. Go to your home page, the folder bin, TUCDLISR folder, and :/ means in the same folder, we are creating the create administrator, where you will give the email address and the name of the persons or the institution. I'm using the institution name, so I give here in this way, and give the password that will be used whenever you log in to your DSpace, and just give the Y for yes and N for no. Just now, in this way, you successfully create the new administrator in the DSpace. So this is how the multiple instances created. This is the link for the video, but I think I will go for presentation first. And if time remains, I will request to play these videos, because I see that videos are little blur for the participants, and so it has less useful. It is less useful to learn from videos. All the steps I have mentioned in the papers, yeah. Okay, in the presentation slides are the same. Here now I'm going to talk about e-persons, groups, and authorizations. This is a very fantastic facility given by the DSpace. We can create our users, give their own login addresses in the DSpace, and also we can make a groups out of those e-persons according to our need, according to the need of administrator. Some of the e-persons maybe can submit the paper, and some of the e-persons can only read, or some of the e-persons can review the metadata. So according to those roles, we can make groups among those e-persons. Now let's see how those e-persons can be made. First, I'm showing here by the command line how the e-persons will be made. I use my friend's name here. In the same folder where we make the administrator, the same home dspace, tucdlis and bin, this dot slash dspace, as we give the command similar to this, that dot slash dspace dash administrator that we used previously for the administrator. Similarly, here we are using in the same way dot slash dspace user sorry, my network was interrupted. I'm very sorry. Perhaps I need to share my screen once again. Am I visible now?
Yes.
So sorry for disturbance. And yeah, and this is how the password the administrator himself can provide here in the command line. And then other remaining informations can be given here. And then, okay. Now, this is another way. One is from command line, as in the slide I have shown you. And this is another way. This page is from XMLUI user interface you are seeing. In the right-hand side of the XMLUI page, we will find while you log in as an administrator, not as a simple user, but as an administrator, you will see the control panel where you will find people, groups, authorization, and over here. So click over the people. Here you will find this create a new e-people options. You just need to, there is a hand you see in the slides, and just click over there, and you will find this kind of form. Very interestingly, I would like to share an experience that in a training program for the basic library training, where we were talking about how to enter data. One of the students was saying, why is this lot of the information we need to enter in this place, just as selling our own properties and all those things. It's so interesting. Even yes, we have to enter many informations for working administrative tasks in this space. Here, as also, you have to give the names of the e-person and their first name, last name, contact telephone number. It's a one-time entry. We don't need to do every time. So if one time given, then it's okay. After giving all the information, so click on the e-people, e-person, create the e-person. Here you will see that where the password is given, it's not seen over here. I will talk how the password will be generated later on. First, let's talk about how to create a group. After creating the numbers of the e-persons, how many need is as according to your institutional need, your users, you first identify your user, then make the list of them, and then make a group as the same way, that create the new group, click the group and give the names of the group according to their role. Only students, then students, or only readers, then readers, or submitters, whatever, according to the roles, you can give the name to them. Now, I've given an example making of two groups, students and submitters, where students can read and submitters also can write on the DSpace. And where to give the role to them then? When you make the community or the collections, then at that time, you will find the options, assign the roles. In the assign the role options, you just click on it. And after clicking, we will find the edit authorizations policies. There is the provisions. Again, click over it. There's nothing big deal. Just and find there is the edit options, where you find already as a default, anonymous can read. Anonymous means anyone who even without logging can read. So if we have to give the special rights to a specific users, then we have to edit over here. Once we edit and make the anonymous remove reading, then without logging, if you log out and without logging, you will see that the community is restricted. The information will appear in this way once we remove the anonymous for reading facility. And now the interface that you are using is the JSPY. Why I have altered this user interfaces that due to I would like to show different interfaces is one purpose, and another is some problem was occurred, and then for this presentation. This is the another DSpace repository of the Tivan University Faculty of Humanities and Social Science. Here, once if we log out, if you log out and we have permitted only the specific users, you will see the logout notice. And then how to log in then? You just log in with the users, like I'm using my own email over here. And now you need to retrieve the password. See, you see here, forget my password. If you click over this forget my password, then the DSpace will email setting in the dspace.csv file. So here new password email will be sent in our email. This is my email where the DSpace sent email to me. And I just click over that link and get the new password, as we generally do for our own Gmail whenever we forget our password, on Facebook page whenever we forget our password. Just in the similar way, the process happen over here, and we can set the new password, giving the new password, and now we can log in with our new password. This is how, after having the password and logging in to the DSpace, we are able to browse anything we wanted. This is how the facility is given. This is link for the second video, but still I'm not going to play it. Now another last part of my first part of the presentation is the OAI PMS protocol for DSpace harvesting. It's very another interesting part I found using DSpace. Very interesting, very useful. Once we have our own DSpace repository and the DSpace repository of different DSpace repositories in the world. In the classroom, I still remember ARD sir said that we third world countries and the developing countries are also only being downloading country. We cannot, we are not being able to being uploading country. Once we develop uploading country, and any other library can get the data from our library as well. This is very good platform and very good opportunity using DSpace that we can also create our e-content here. So how to do that? Let's focus on this. So for this regard, I use my own department's repository, elibrary.tucdlis.edu.np, where from all the DSpace repository, I have harvested the repository, the data. In the collection data communication, I have given the another collection another collection name, articles from other resources. For example, I use it. And for this case, when we create the, as I have already shown you, the forms where we find that assigned role, near to that there is a content source. We have to click on that content source for that purpose. And once you click, there is two options given, that this collection, this is a standard DSpace collection, or this collection harvests the content from an external sources. Just click on that external sources, because we are going to harvest. Harvest means take from other DSpace. Now just click on it and save, and will appear another form automatically where you have to give the OAI provider. Here I'm using DRTC's OAI provider. For that, you will see the URL, and then you have seen new terms, OAI/request. Up to here, we have to paste, take it from the DRTC DSpace repository and paste it here from there. And here there are two options as well. If we need to take all the sets, then click on the all, otherwise specific, because only some parts of the data you want to take, then at that time we have to click on this specific set. And this is the code, this is the identifier, persistent identifier from the DRTC. I just copy from there and paste here. And let's test the setting. If all this setting is okay, then only we can import. So see, once we test, you'll find the notice harvesting setting are valid. This is very important step that we must be conscious about. And then there are again 3 steps. Either we would like to harvest only metadata or the bit stream. Bit stream is the smallest data unit stored in the DSpace. These collection of the bit streams makes to be an item. And for that, this bit stream, the ORE must support it. And once this, you decide to choose one of them and just save it. And after that, the file will appear in this way and import now. So once you click on import now, it will take some time. Now it has been imported. And if you click to any of these imported data, now you will see how it will appear. You see, there we will find 2 identifiers. One is from DRTC, the original identifier with the handle number, and another is the local ones where we have just harvested. This is the eLibrary, TUCDLIS edu.np and handle. This is the things it will happen, and this is how we can harvest the data from other DSpace. And similarly, our data can be harvested to others. This will also, we will find. And in conclusion, for the first part, DSpace incorporates all possible users along with roles suitable to provide, and DSpace facilitates us with many administrators, institutions working on a single source software, and DSpace networks with other DSpace repositories around the world. It is the great platform for sharing. Librarians can give lively information service utilizing the DSpace platform. It's very important and useful thing. This is for the first part of my presentations. I hope you are enjoying my presentation and not getting bored with it, because I have to share another part. Previously, I was supposed to